Bonsoir, bienvenue tout le monde. Welcome to the HL Global Montreal Soirée. This is HL Radio, our fourth North American event this year. And I have the pleasure of hosting the co-founders of HL Global, Christian and Stephy. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing amazing. All right, well, might as well kick things off. So first question is, what is HL Global?
So HL Global honestly was a bunch of friends that got together just for the love of Hyperliquid. A lot of us are from Vancouver, and we threw an event in Vancouver back in November of last year, and we were really surprised just how many people flew in from across the continent, basically to meet other people in the Hyperliquid ecosystem. And so after that, we realized that it couldn't just stop there, and we ended up raising from our really generous sponsors. I think we have about 20 people, 20 different groups who got together and helped us bring this to life. And now we've thrown 4 events in North America, actually 6 if you count all the kind of side and after parties. But in more than that, we're bringing together the Hyperliquid ecosystem in addition to promoting and describing what Hyperliquid is on socials. And we want to really continue to expand. Let Christian talk a little bit more.
Just one more thing to highlight, I think, is the Hyperliquid Summit that we just hosted in New York City just last month. And this was our largest event yet. We got over 200 people to come together. A lot of them from like the institutional side of things. So really looking to connect like builders, the Hyperliquid ecosystem with these institutions who are looking to either they're already on Hyperliquid or they're looking to get on Hyperliquid. So bringing these groups together in New York City, the center of finance, I think was like a really big thing that we did that we're trying to use to like help push Hyperliquid forward.
Yeah, very cool. That was a great event. And you spoke about friends coming together. I feel like Hyperliquid has adopted this grassroots approach of building its community. So how do you feel that worked out for Hyperliquid so far?
Well, I think the proof is in the pudding. Hyperliquid's only 3 years old, and it's already the third most successful perp dex out of all perp dexes, not just decentralized ones, also including centralized exchanges. And I think that's also, a parallel to the community. It's a grassroots community. We started off just a bunch of friends, but we were able to grow into this much larger initiative. And you also see different Hyperliquid communities popping up all over the world, like really in almost every single country. And it wasn't funded by anything specific. And so while I think some people, in traditional crypto ecosystem building would argue that, well, the foundations, they need to, they need marketing, they need to like provide support to their communities. I think in the end, that ends up manufacturing sort of like a false group cohort of builders or, people who are excited, who are not in it, for the real heart of it, but they show up to the events just to, take advantage of like the free resources to be able to grow their project. But I think, unfortunately, that leads to a lot of a fluff. And I think when you look at the Hyperliquid ecosystem, you see that it's really different. Most people in the room are really dedicated, really intelligent. And I think that if anything, it's an homage and a parallel to what Hyperliquid Labs did in a grassroots way.
Christian, anything to add here?
No, all good. Steffi nailed that one.
Yeah, beautifully said. Hyperliquid has heart. So obviously Hyperliquid is growing exponentially. So where do you see HL Global in the future?
Yeah, there's a few different things we're thinking about. I'll talk about just the events. So I mentioned the Hyperliquid Summit earlier, large like institutional focus event, lots of great panels and presentations covering everything Hyperliquid. And I think just taking that event and growing it, this is kind of be like our flagship annual event we put on, kind of like opposite to the event that Hyperliquid Labs throws in Singapore every year, having like a New York equivalent. Again, it makes a lot of sense. Like most of finance, like is happening in New York. This is the capital of all that. There's this big push right now to legalize perps and Hyperliquid in America. So we want to kind of have this big annual event that's at the center of that. That's a big push for us. And a few other things I'll let Steffi touch on.
Yeah, so in addition to the events and bringing people together in the Hyperliquid ecosystem, we really want to expand on the media and research side of things. My personal background, I was a technical writer and then a researcher within crypto since 2019. Christian, big DeFi guy for the last number of years. And our extended, group of team and volunteers are also very dedicated to Hyperliquid as well as just expanding on-chain finance. And so we really want to start growing the, reports and information and just things that people can see offline and in addition to online. yes, offline in addition to online, we think will be valuable to help grow the pie.
Oh, thank you so much for organizing these events. I'm a huge fan. Thank you for putting out all this beautiful content. And on that note, I'm going to say Hyperliquid.
Hyperliquid.
Really good.
And one last thing, I know it's the end, but huge props to you, Zerk. You know, you're a huge part of this. You're, part of the team. We're all volunteers here and you've done a lot. So I want to make sure that you also have the respect you deserve. So thank you so much for everything.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Merci.